All right, let's get into some more money news this afternoon now. For recent college graduates, setting up an investment plan can feel confusing and at times very overwhelming. And in fact, they may not even think about this right now in their lives, but they should be. Here with some simple steps to help get started is money and business expert Derrick Kinney to tell us more about this. And Derrick, you know, if the younger people are not home right now, this is a great time for parents to DVR this, take some notes, and share with the younger people in their lives. Because isn't it that, you know, let's say, you know, right after you graduate or you know, you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, that's when it's the most critical to start putting money away for retirement.
That's right, Jason. Great to see you, first of all. And yes, parents right now should take notes for their kids because this is that formative time of their life that really lays the foundation for their financial future. So the bottom line is you want to encourage them to set goals for themselves. Give them a picture as to say, hey, 5 years from now, what do you want your life to look like? And what do you want your money to do for you? And even take it out to 10 years to give them a picture of what I spend or invest today can create a picture of my lifestyle I really want, but also encourage them to don't spend more than they make. If they can get into the early habit of spend less, save more, it can feed their financial future for the rest of their lives.
So is that the first step then, just sort of identifying the goals and looking, you know, a little bit further out than just a couple of inches in front of your face?
Yeah, look further than Friday night and what you're going to do partying with your friends. If you can even look past to the following Monday, that's an improvement. The bottom line is have a budget, have a plan, because we know beyond certainty that people's expenses tend to equal their income in surprisingly short order. It's amazing how fast it happens, and then they're behind the curve from day one. We want to stop that and put people in control of their money.
Yeah, and then they think they don't have enough money left over to set aside for investments because they've matched their expenses with their income there. And, you know, big secret, you'll never feel like you have enough money to set aside for investments as you go through life. So you got to actually make that change yourself. Right. When it comes to investments, what would you say are some of the best options to consider for, especially for younger investors?
Well, you want to keep it simple and keep it easy. One of the things that really kind of talks people out of being successful with their money is they feel like it's too complicated and only a select group of people have access to this specialized information. And I want to debunk that and say there are some very simple ways to do this. You can go into what are called mutual funds, which are kind of pooled investments. One of my favorites, though, are what are called exchange traded funds, or ETFs. And these are miniature indexes. So let's say, Jason, that you wanted to buy every stock in the S&P 500, well, that would be 500 stocks to buy. That can be a lot of transaction costs. Or you can buy one stock, which is the S&P 500 index, what's called an ETF. ETFs are low cost. They're very easy to buy. You can buy them through all the different exchanges. Those can be great ways to get started for college grads to get invested.
Okay, so that covers ETFs and how easy those are to buy. And like you said, if you're buying an ETF, that's just like, you know, buying a stock, and it exposes you to so many other stocks out there so that, you know, if one stock falls, your whole portfolio isn't falling with it necessarily. What would you say? I like to talk about mistakes because it feels like I've made a lot of those over the years, especially back right after I graduated, maybe. What is the biggest mistake that you see college graduates making when it comes to investing? Or if they didn't, you know, go to college, or, you know, they're just out of high school or out of trade school or whatever. At that age, what is the biggest mistake that they're making?
Well, there's really two big mistakes. One is they tend to wait and see how much money is left over at the end of the month. The problem is there's often more month than there is money, and there's not the money to save. So save first and save off the top. If you do that, you're going to be about 90% further ahead than most Americans. Second of all, don't be afraid to take some risk with your portfolio. Let's say you're 21 watching this right now and you think, I may work until I'm 65. That's 30, 40 plus years away. Take some risk, take some chances, but the bottom line is at least take advantage of the full company match in your 401k, set up an IRA, do the things, the simple steps you need to take to put yourself on the path to success. But also don't be afraid even to take advantage of some investment opportunities that may be volatile right now, but they could pay big dividends down the road.
I love that. But you know, it just seems like so many people are not in that mindset in those early years. And you have so much longer for it to grow if you're putting that money in there and you're buying those stocks maybe after they've been battered down right now, Derrick, and you just have all of these years in front of you that stock can grow if you're buying it early.
That's right.
Derrick Kinney, always sage advice. I love the phrase, there's always more month than money. Just, it's so true in life. So, put that money aside first. Derrick Kinney, author of Good Money Revolution. Thanks as always for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jason.